Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and this is now our third ambassadors team call here in December during REtoken relaunch month, and joined with the rest of the team, and not in any particular order, but I'm just going to go read down the list because we've got a lot of agenda and not a lot of time. So Crush, Julie, Amy, Teresa, Tyler, Blackfire, Rosetta, Dax, and myself. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. And taking a look over here, we've got a little bit of stuff on our agenda. And here's our live stream. We do encourage the live stream participation. So if you're watching the live stream, feel free to give some comments. We do regularly engage. Check the questions. We reward participants on the live stream with REtoken. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. And let's just go over here to the agenda. Let me make this bigger so that everybody can see this better on the live stream. And for those that may or may not know, this is Trello. This is the tool where we get all the things done. And I'll just show you here a little bit. This is an ongoing work in progress, but we do track all of our activities here. We've been talking a little bit about some bounties. Going to be talking more about that because that's the main thing that have on the agenda. So let's take a look right here. And one thing that I do want to put out here, this is something that I've been putting out quite a bit on our other live streams. And you can see right here, we have a couple needs and a couple opportunities. The producer for the live stream, we're really wanting to elevate our live stream game here. So those people that like that, we're looking at using the tool OBS, which will integrate with Restream and Zoom. And then also the post-production where we're looking to add some relevant key moments to the description. And thanks for everybody that makes these events happen. Mrs. Yonks for keeping the participation, Amy for facilitating the POAPs. We do love our POAPs, and that's one of the things, as you could see on our video thumbnail here, this is the POAP that we'll be receiving for the people that are participating in the event here tonight. So looking again at the agenda, we've got, it may look like a short list, but there's a lot of meat in this. And the one that I'm the most excited about is the intro and the onboarding quest. And multiple conversations that we've had in the past, this is something that we've consistently identified as one of the biggest needs and opportunities that we have, is to improve the onboarding experience. And the goal is to make it higher touch, because we really believe that everybody can contribute value here, whatever skills that they have, or whether they want to just learn with us. We're all learning this crypto, this blockchain stuff. And like one of the opportunities, like MetaMask, and this was something that came up in our pre-conversation, creating an opportunity for people that may be struggling. And this isn't the first time that we've had some people that struggle. Like one of the, our ERC20 token, for example, is on Polygon. And that's one of the things by default, whenever you download MetaMask, you don't actually see that Polygon, the network itself, or you actually have to go through a process. I think literally, wasn't it just the other day, Tyler, that I helped you add your REtoken to your own MetaMask wallet in your iPhone?
Yeah, and that's something that I'd like to do a live stream on, because Rosetta, you are far from the only person who has had a problem with that. I've had problems. A lot of people in our community have gotten lost or confused, and since you can't all be married to Yonks and have live-in tech support, then we just need to make some videos.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we have a very supportive community too. And I remember it wasn't too long ago, Amy was having some struggles with MetaMask, and she's now our in-house POAP queen. So she's come a long way in a very short period of time, and we love having Amy on our team, and we love the POAP. So anyway, let's just jump right in here to this intro and the onboarding quest. So we've got some workflow that I created over here, and this is one of the things during REtoken relaunch. And I do want to show real quick, because this is another opportunity that we have. on our calendar, and this is something that we spoke about during the content team conversation, but we've got this REtoken relaunch. Ask me anything tomorrow at noon Eastern time, and looking forward to that. Like I said, we've put forward a lot of changing dynamics here, and just wanted to provide that opportunity. And that's something that I'll be sending out an email communication here tonight as well, to encourage maybe some people that have been kind of sitting out on the wings to potentially engage here, because it's a great time to engage. So let's just close this and go to the Trello card over here. And this is one of the things that I did a little bit of rearranging so that it can be easy to see here. And one of the things too is I also changed, I noticed when I was looking at the Trello that our workspace wasn't public. And I actually flipped the switch and made this public. So if you go to trello.com/REtoken, you can find our boards. It won't look exactly like this because not all of our boards are visible publicly. The one that I'm wanting to actually show, though, is a different workspace, because one of the limitations with Trello without paying more money is that the board is limited to, or the workspace is limited to 10 boards. And to foster, to make sure that we've got enough opportunity here, is I created a REtoken ambassador space. And I'm pretty sure that I got everybody invited to this that's participating right here. So if I don't have you added, make sure to reach out and we will get you added to that. So looking at the boards, this is kind of where we can do some workflow as far as with this ambassadors. Let's go back though to the card for this, and I can show you what that can kind of look like. I don't know if we've had any introductions occur. And this is, again, one of the opportunities that we have to provide a higher touch experience. So let's take a look at the workflow that I put forward. I'm going to zoom this in so that everybody can see it, because I just want to kind of go through this in depth and to get some, feedback from everybody. And this is something that's functionally in place right now, that this is something that we can all do from a participation. So this again is the introduction bounty in anticipation of us developing an onboarding quest. And I really envision that this function will be a role of our ambassadors. And one of the other opportunities that we have here during REtoken relaunch month is that we really need to work on, and I'm not expecting our ambassadors team to be finalized, but just getting some general, and I'll talk more about that. I want to stay on point here with this introduction bounty, because this is the most important thing that wanting to talk about here tonight. So the goals of this bounty is, again, as I've already alluded to improve the REtoken onboarding experience. And to reiterate, this has been repeatedly identified by our team as the biggest need and opportunity that we have. The other goal is to reward REtoken for desired behavior of new people in Discord. And when you look at the quantity of people, and I don't have any specific statistics, I mean, it's something that we could probably do. And this is something that we could probably work on implementing as far as some KPIs for this particular opportunity. Because one of the things that put forward during the core team call when introduced this conversation is that to try this out, we're just going to run this through REtoken relaunch month. I anticipate that this is going to be something that we will refresh and extend, but to try it out to see if it works or if it's worth putting forward the effort. So again, the enhance the REtoken, and KYC is something that's oftenly tossed around within the blockchain or the crypto space, and it stands for Know Your Customer, or also AML, which is anti-money laundering. And since we're a community here where we don't really identify customers per se, I like to call KYC Know Your Community. So, and this is an opportunity to also alleviate some of the administration burdens that's largely falling on myself and mostly Mrs. Yonks. And thank you again, Tyler, for all that you do behind the scenes. I don't think that most people have much appreciation for that. I do, because I look at all the spreadsheets that you're creating for tracking the participation, and then I use those for doing the airdrops. The other thing that we're looking to do is we're looking to increase the fully onboarded REtoken holders. So those of you that may or may not know, we're working on implementing some additional stuff. Like we're talking about bounties right now. So this is like this bounties one. This is a channel that's only visible to those people that hold REtoken. We have this Collabland bot in place to facilitate that. And in the info, there's a Collabland join. And for people that hold REtoken, there's a process that you can do using this Collabland bot. And right now, looking at the statistics on our server, out of the 287 people that are on our Discord, only 12 people have completed this process. So that's a component here as well, because we're wanting to integrate some workflow that provide additional mechanisms for REtoken holders to participate in the bounties, because those are people that know more what's going on, right? They've gone through some type of process. And like one of the things that we're looking at with this onboarding quest is to potentially have, whenever somebody goes through this onboarding quest, they might be called a REtoken initiate. And just putting that out there to kind of let that marinate with everybody, as far as maybe we could think of a better word than initiate, but it's one that I kind of like because they're getting initiated into the REtoken community. So to keep on track here with this introduction bounty onboarding quest, broke this out into 2 phases. So this is the introduction bounty, and this Trello card here is basically phase 1 workflow. So the process overview is triggered when a new person makes an introduction. And this is one of the things that I'm looking to, again, create some content about. Like one of the pieces of content I'm wanting to talk about this bounty specifically, because again, let's just actually take a look real quick over here at the introductions channel real quick. And that got moved to our onboarding section. So right now we've only got 2 channels in Discord in the onboarding section. We've got this introductions channel. And you can see here, we haven't had anybody make an introduction in the last couple of days. So this is, again, one of the reasons that we're wanting to do this, because it provides a great way for us to know a little bit more about the people that are joining our community. And on the dev team call that we just got off of, there was also some conversation about utilizing an intake form like Airtable, where we can, and that's maybe like on the dev team call, I think I called that phase 1.5. We're not there yet, quite yet. And we're wanting to put this in place because we believe that this higher touch component can really provide a more positive experience for people. And during the call, I already spoke about EFOSA. This is somebody that we put this in place with, and I believe that EFOSA has already hopped on a couple of our live streams. They've been a silent participant, but that's okay. You know, people are just trying to figure out where they can fit in and contribute. And that's really the biggest opportunity that we have, is to create more structure to make it easier for people to be able to contribute whatever skills that they bring to our community. So one of the other things, and I'm not going to go into detail on this, this is something that I'm going to take offline. We've been playing around with some of this private threads over here, and this is something where we've got some of this workflow in place. And that's something that we can provide some structure. The other opportunity, this is obviously very Discord centric. So the opportunity, like Mrs. Yonks led the new platform team, the opportunity to incorporate this type of a workflow into a tool like Mighty Networks or Circle.so, which is really the 2 platforms that we're evaluating under this ethos of we biddle an inclusive and platform agnostic community. So one of the other opportunities, and I'm just putting this out here for anybody that really wants to get some more hands-on experience with these new platforms, to think about that too. And there's some specific workflow, and I can't remember exactly what it's called in there. Do you remember off the top of your head, Tyler, what that's called in Mighty Networks?
The workflow?
Well, just they have, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but they encourage some type of like introductions component there as well. Like
it's just a welcome message, and it's a we as the host, we can have a first question. So it can be anything from what brings you in today to do you have any experience with DAOs to what interests you about real estate. We can make the intro question whatever we want, but it's basically just a first question that people have the option to ask, so they don't really know what to post. They can just answer that question. And although I really want, Teresa, when you said I'm here, I just imagine you sweeping in like a 50s movie star with giant sunglasses and a boa, and it was fabulous. And I think everybody should have an introduction like that. So I just want to just cheer for that and vote that we all have something like that.
When I said what now? I missed.
You said, hello, everyone, I've arrived. And I was just imagining you walking in giant sunglasses and a boa like a 50s movie star. And I just thought that was fabulous. So I just encourage everybody to throw on your tiara and make an intro.
Thank you.
So again, process overview. New person makes an introduction. Ambassador provides a high-touch onboarding experience. New person receives plus 20 REtoken exclusive Discord role for token holders. Ambassador receives plus 40 REtoken for assisting onboarding the new person. And when I was first doing this, I was thinking maybe 10 for the new person and 10 for the ambassador. And when I started going into the detailed workflow, and this is one of the things that I love about Trello, is it makes it very easy to create these checklists here. So this is the checklist, and this is part of the reason that it went from 10 and 10 to 20 and 40 is because when I really started breaking down what I wanted to see happen to integrate with where we're at today. And this is also the opportunity and the challenge to the dev team, because we want this to make it as easy as possible. And one of the great things about how that we're doing the itemization within these season 0 tokenomics, or whatever that you want to call it, it provides a very easy basis on a line item by line item basis. I don't want to talk about numbers here. We're talking about some numbers for the bounty, and let's keep on track with that. So this is the checklist, and it's a decently long checklist. But again, the easier that you can do, and slight tangent, one of the books that I'm a big fan of is Checklist Manifesto. Great book. It was from a surgeon. And my understanding is that when they started implementing checklists there in the OR, the operating room in hospitals, their numbers improved substantially. Read the book. You'll have a higher appreciation for checklists. So going through, again, the new person makes an introduction. Boom, 10 REtoken. And one of the things that I'm committed to do too is be more timely on the airdrops. And that's one of the ongoing things that I'm still working on refining. And anybody that loves the live stream aspect that would like to participate and co-host, and right now they're pretty ad hoc for a lot of different reasons, but that just putting that out there. So that's something that I'm committing to. And if somebody else wants to be involved on the co-host of the airdrops, let me know, reach out in one of the private threads there on the Team Yonk Stop Discord. Anyway, so one of the things that wanting to see happen is that the ambassador creates a new Discord thread. It's super easy to do. And just for the sake of like showing how easy it is, Tyler, why don't you just go in right now into the introductions and say, this is a test during our ambassador team meeting, and I'll go through and show how easy it is to make a thread.
The intro on Discord, you mean?
Do what?
Did you mean the intro on Discord, or?
Yeah. Let's just pretend that you're a new person right now, and you're like, hey, I'm a new person. Hello, I'm Mrs. Yonks. I'm awesome, and you are absolutely awesome. So, it's more fun to have a little catalyst on that. And I see her typing down here. This is one of the things I love about Discord, is it does show if somebody's typing in a channel. So we'll see that. And this is the channel that I was talking about here, the Team Yonks channel under this it's at the very, very bottom of the list of the channels, but we've got a channel here. And if ambassadors would like to have their own channel for this, where it alleviates the necessity of doing DMs. So right here, Mrs. Yonks, you can see she just created her introduction thread. Now, me being a good ambassador, this is something that we want to do. So all I have to do here is create a thread, and we're going to call this Mrs. Yonks, and we're going to call this intro thread. And it doesn't have to be like, and what this does is it creates a consistent and uncluttered experience for everybody. And one of the other things too, to provide a little of the why that I think that this is important, is it also acclimates people to the threads, and we have a very threaded experience. Now, again, the opportunity as we're working towards building a platform agnostic community, the opportunity for an ambassador to assist with really developing and refining some workflow in either Mighty Networks or Circle. If you want to have some initiative, I'm putting this out here as far as like working with me. I haven't even had enough time to I've created an account on both of those platforms, and that's all the time that I've had. So that's why Mrs. Yonks is leading the conversations on the new platform team. So I created the thread. So this is the trigger over here. So let me actually show you how fabulous the template capability. So you can see we've got a label on here, templates. So I'm going to create a card from template, and we're going to call this Mrs. Yonks. And I can't we'll call this intro, and I don't know about the date. We'll just put this December 21st on here. And we don't need the label because it's not a template. And we're going to actually move this over here to this list. And let me see. I don't know if we can actually move it to the desired board. Oh, so I lost my window here. And probably, let me take this Zoom off. It doesn't like doing some of the stuff on the Zoom. So Mrs. Young's intro, and this is December 21st. And, whatever. So create the card. So the great thing about this is that it copies the entire everything there on the checklist. So, and we're going to actually move this right now because this just copied it into the list templates. Going to move it over here to the REtoken ambassadors board. And there we go. So going over here, and I know that I'm going very, very fast. And again, this is something that I'm planning on doing a specific video that's much more clear and concise. I just wanted to show the workflow here real quick and provide another, and I do want to thank Mrs. Young. She led a Trello 101. We've already been talking about doing a Trello 102. That's something that we may do here in 2021, but with 2022 right around the corner, we may not get to that. So let's go to, I think it's on the recent. So over here, you can see the card on here. So Discord intro thread created. So looking over here at the tasks that we've got. So let's actually keep this going. So new person makes an intro. So that happened. I created the Discord thread. So, and here, over here, let me actually show you what this looks like, because this is, again, one of the tasks in here, because this also has, and I'm gonna do this real quick. I was like, glad to have you here. And I'm gonna say Mrs. Youngs, tag her in that so that she'll get the ping on that. Glad to have you here. And I do believe you are amazing. Okay, so there I provided a little higher touch. And then over here in this private thread, let me show you what this looks like real quick, because this is super easy too. And again, we can help you set up a channel, walk you through this. So over here, you click on the little plus, and we're going to create a thread. And we're going to call this, and I've got a copy and paste thing. I'm not going to do it right here. We're going to call this Mrs. Yonk's private Team Yonks. And like I said, I've got a copy and paste that I use to make it like with the little, like, you can see I've got a little lock and the little thread icon. And we're going to say at Mrs. Yonks, this will actually add her to this private thread. And we're going to, 24 hours, 33 days, whatever, and we're going to check this. This is the most important thing, private thread. And this is a capability that we have unlocked. And again, thank you for those that have boosted our Discord server. And I'm going to say in this starter message, Mrs. Yonks, this is a private thread. We take measures to keep our community safe by keeping conversations in-house or something like that, you know. And I'm open to hear some verbiage as far as what can make this, like, I'm all a fan of the copying and pasting, or you can add your own little flair to this. So create thread, and what happens here, you can see Mrs. Yonk's private thread, and I click on the little people over here, and you can see private, only people you invite and moderators can see this thread. So this also provides, again, a higher touch component, and say, like, welcome to our community. We, and again, if you've got some verbiage that you would like to see, this is, again, the opportunity to enhance and refine this process. In December 2021, we are rewarding our new community members with plus 10 REtoken for making an Discord intro. What is your ETH wallet address? So, and and then that would wait for, you know, the workflow. And then, like, what would happen then when we receive her wallet address, we can move that card over to the wallet address received list. And then we check off this right here. We created the private thread. This would, again, reward plus 10 REtoken and trigger the workflow. And then that makes it, again, feel more private for the person. It's higher touch. And then the new person provides the ETH wallet address. So, and here's a table that we've got. We have the KYC tab over here. Let me bring this open too. This is our intros. This is. Go ahead, Tyler.
By the way, guys, I know a lot of you guys have ENSs like Yonks' Yonks.eth, but we always try and get their whole wallet that starts with 0x, because for whatever reason, occasionally an airdrop will trip up on an ENS. So we get that occasionally. If you guys are onboarding somebody and you ask them for their wallet and they give you an ENS, ask them for their whole wallet also. We keep both so that we make sure that our airdrops go through.
And these, thanks for that additional nugget of information. And that's one of the things too, we will be having some more conversations. Like, one of the things that we are putting out there, we're planning on hosting a mastermind, how to become a Web3 monk badass. We'll be having more conversations going about that here as we get closer, because we're planning on launching that, I believe, either the 2nd of January or the 9th of January on Sunday. But again, just putting that out there, because those are the kinds of conversations that we're having there. So anyway, like, we created this intros tab, and we've got the KYC. So this is where we would just add, like, you know, the Discord username, Mrs. Yonks, and then, you know, wallet address here, you know, 0x blah 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 blah. You know, it's a really long, however long the wallet address is. And then that is one of the things that will help us, Mrs. Yonks and I, you know, update our records. And that's one of the things that we'll work on. Whoever is going to engage in this process will make sure to hold your hand every step of the way. And then we've got a tab over here, intros. And this is just so that we can better track the workflow. So this was like 1221. And again, we're wanting to have this automated in some manner. We're not there yet. This is some new workflow. And this is one of the challenges out to the dev team. We want this to be a super simple process. So just moving down the list, because we only have a few more minutes left. Let me make this bigger here so that everybody can see it. So the new person provides the Ethereum wallet address, check, ambassador adds new person details to REtoken Google Sheets, just talked about that. Add the new line item, I just talked about that. And then the workflow is on me. And again, I put that out there as far as the opportunity for some other people that would like to potentially learn the airdrop process as far as a co-host. And that's, again, another opportunity that we're looking to provide some automation about. And this intro onboarding aspect is, compared to like our events, this is some new workflow that we're just introducing. We don't know if this will make sense. We don't know how well that people are going to like doing this. But anyway, so this is when this new person will become a REtoken holder after this happens. So, and then the ambassador communicates to the new person. So going back to that Discord thread, we could say, great news. Yonks just completed the airdrop and you are now a REtoken holder. Please complete the next step of your onboarding quest with the, and we can put a link in here, Collabland join, and that's got the how-to in there. And it will automatically add your REtoken Discord role. And that would be this step right here. And then the new person, when they uses Collabland, they get another 10 REtoken. And then, we can move the card along the lists here. So I'm going to stop talking and let everybody chime in some thoughts on this particular process. So would love to hear some thoughts on this as far as the way that we've outlined it in this initial phase one. And I'm going to zoom in and go on mute.
Look all day.
I see Amy has a open mic. Did you want to chime in on some thoughts here, Amy? All right, well, that seems pretty crickets there. So I guess nobody has any questions on that. And again, this is something I don't know from a firsthand experience. I've been really, really pleased with just testing this out here the last couple of days. And, I feel good about the reward that we're putting forward here, where the new person would receive the 20 REtoken and the ambassador for completing this process will receive the 40 REtoken. And again, the goal is to automate this and move more towards a, like a full-blown onboarding quest and stuff like that. So to move on to the next bullet point that had on the agenda, and let me get back to our agenda card here real quick. And let's see where we've got this. All right, so the next thing that wanted to talk about is this task force. So the opportunity that we've seen is that this onboarding quest, and this is something that there's a huge need and demand for. One of the things the DAO ecosystem as it exists today is very, very early. And this is a huge pain point for a lot of DAOs. And I think the ability for us to really streamline the onboarding quest and create a framework that makes it easier for DAOs to onboard. And I don't know exactly what this is will look like, but this is something that I've been having some side conversations about. And this is something that's came up like earlier today. Mrs. Yonks and I are going to be leading the initiative at Creator DAO to also develop an onboarding quest there. And Creator DAO is Mrs. Yonks and I, as well as a Poopster, are founding 100 token holders of Creator DAO. They're categorically a content DeFi marketing agency, professional services And we, REtoken, will be likely utilizing them for our own token town. And so anyway, that's an opportunity that we have to create an onboarding for ourselves, for Creator DAO, and I see that as an absolute opportunity. I also have BitDAO, Mrs. Yonks, myself, Blackfire, and DSign are also going through the ambassador onboarding process at BitDAO. And there's I've really enjoyed the onboarding process that they've got there, and the opportunity again to create a more cookie cutter framework. And I think that there's an opportunity to develop a task force where that's like kind of like a separate project. And I really envision that that sort of thing would be best executed under Triple Win Foundation. And this is something that I've been talking about off and on for quite a while. And it goes back into, you know, creating a scalable DAO framework that we can operate in. Like we've already talked about co-op housing protocol. I see that there's an absolute need, but I'm not going to go off onto all of the needs that exist for this within the DAO ecosystem. This onboarding quest, Bankless DAO has that really dialed in. They put out a great report. I think it was November, but I'd have to double check that as far as what their first quest at Bankless DAO looks like. And that's one of the things that they are diligently tracking and working on improving to bring more contributors into the very large Bankless DAO ecosystem. But we only have, I mean, we're literally 1 minute here. Just wanted to put that out there to just let that marinate with you all as far as from a consideration. I'm going to go on mute and allow whomever would like to chime in while we're winding down here tonight, because I do want to be respectful of everyone's time.
The BitDAO Notion page is really on point. It's clean, it's easy. I think it's a great model for us, and I'm super excited about the higher touch. I think I've jumped into a lot of Discords. I get lost, I mute them, and then I never look at them again. So we're picking up 5-ish new people every day. That not everybody stays, but the more people that we can reach out to, the better. And I love this opportunity to potentially re-engage some people who have been in for a while, but they just don't ever say anything or do anything. So we'd love to touch them again. That'd be great.
I don't know how it would look like. This is Amy, by the way. If all of us would go through that onboarding process so we know how it feels and we know what it looks like. Once it's put together, that way we can relate more to the new people that's onboarding. How does that sound? And plus we can get our NFTs too.
I love it. I think that'd be great. The only thing is that a lot of you guys have a bunch of specific roles. So if you're going to do that, let me know so I can screenshot your roles and then reassign them all to you when you get back in. So yeah, I would love to help anybody. I'd love to re-onboard anybody that wants to be re-onboarded.
I think we can create a fake, account just to go through it. And then we can delete that account. So we know what it looks like.
Sure, that's fine too. Whatever works will be great.
Good morning, guys. How is everyone doing?
Hey, good to hear from you, Blackfire. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning here. So yeah, I'm awake and fresh. Had some breakfast and feeling good. I heard that Amy talked about the price bots I have in my server, Discord server in the Galaxy Coin. So I have given the links. These are custom-made bots, which is hosted in my private server. And so I've sent the links to Amy if she wants to add those into the Discord. But the request is not to share with anybody else, because the more server gets added, the more data it produces, thus causing me more money. But anyhow, yeah, that's a gift from me for Christmas.
Oh,
But
thank
I
you. I'll
also wanna,
forward it to this sign so he can incorporate it then.
Thanks, Blackfire. That's so nice of you. We really appreciate it.
We
And thanks for all you
appreciate-
do in the
you know,
community. I know a lot these calls sometimes happen at weird times and with time zones. And so we appreciate all the diplomacy and all the great people you brought into our server and our community. Like we just really appreciate everything you're doing around here.
yeah, it's about building community networking basically. I did appreciate Jason invited me to BitDAO and introduced me in there. Means a lot to me. This is all about cooperations, how we can help each other in any way we can. So also thank you, and thank you Julie as well to inviting Amy to Galaxy Coin. Very
yeah,
kind
thanks,
indeed.
Julie, for sharing that link.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. Thanks guys, and always love working with you guys. It's great community. We are building a community, a circle of people that would stand the test of time, I hope. Best wishes.
One other
Yes.
thing, there's a new girl who's actually a friend of Blackfire's, and he invited her into our community, who is in the Philippines right now. They had a massive typhoon. So if we can just say a quick prayer or thoughts for the people in the Philippines, they are really struggling right now. So just want to wish them a speedy recovery for businesses that got lost and homes and families and all that. So we just thinking of that country.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, Tyler, for mentioning that earlier in your DM. Everyone is pulling together. The good thing about my people is when these things happen, everybody join hands. And like I mentioned, one of the groups there, YKK, I think is the name. They are an ETH community, a play to earn community, and they have raised close to $420,000 already for the people in the community. So I'm really proud of my people doing that. And that's the reason why I'm in the solar part of the business, because I'm gonna put this globally for climate change. I feel passionate about that because it will decrease the amount of, you know, devastation in the world, because only the poor communities are really affected by this. So yeah, that's my
And
passion also.
we'll put Token Town Manila on your list also. So just claim them all. I love it. Amazing.
Yeah, I told you guys, any city you don't want, I will be taking it. I'll be putting solar and
didn't know you
REtoken
had these
token
dreams of-
town in there.
I didn't know you had these dreams of world domination. I like you even more than I liked you before. If that was possible.
Did you know
So there
that
you
that's my that's my battle cry when I was raising my children? I'm sorry, Tyler, but I always tell them. I think there is a cartoon long time ago. What is this? And he always say world domination, and it's just stuck in my mind.
I'm just imagining you riding into battle on a horse, like blue and white face. I mean, you would have been way better than Mel Gibson in that movie. I'm just throwing that out there. If you want to do a remake, a lot of times they remake movies with girls as the star. This could be your big break, Amy. What was the name of that movie?
You know what? Sometimes I
Mel
hate
Gibson with
to
the blue and white
open my
face.
mouth about my dream because people shut it down. But I think when I'm around strong people, it just enhances it. So thank you, guys.
What was the name of that movie with Mel Gibson with the blue and white face where he yells freedom and he rides?
Braveheart.
What's the name of that movie?
My favorite
Braveheart.
movie.
Yeah, Amy, you could be the girl Braveheart when they remake it, and
I
Mel
love
Gibson's a
Mel
girl.
Gibson.
You
You
could
guys,
be Wilhelmina Wallace.
he's my favorite.
All right, I'm taking us off track. Sorry, babe. Back to you.
No, I love the conversation, and I love hanging out with you all here, and I love what we're biddling together here at REtoken, and I have high expectations for the ambassadors team, because this real estate tokenization, as Teresa can attest to, it's not an easy nut to crack, if you will, which is one of the reasons that it still hasn't gotten any really to speak of much or any momentum yet. Long list of reasons why. Securities regulations here in the US is one of those. And that's one of the things that we're working together here. And we are committed to this for the long haul. We do want to, we biddle passive income with real estate investing for everyone. And that last word there is that hard nut to crack, that everyone, because most real estate tokenization situations, especially here in the US today, are only for the accredited investors. So we have to be intentional about laying a solid foundation while we're navigating to find the best path and the best process so that we can fulfill our ethos of for everyone. And I'm very committed to the ambassadors team, and the and one of the opportunities here too is that we're really looking for more people to have a leadership role. And that's one of the things going to be talking tomorrow during the REtoken relaunch. I've been regularly saying, if you're wanting to get involved in REtoken, December is the month to do it. And if you've got any questions about all of this business, the REtoken relaunch, hopefully we'll answer some of those questions tomorrow. And on that note, I'm going to switch here real quick to the Google Calendar, and I'm going to do our countdown, the visual cue. You can take a look at this and see what we've got. We've got 4 events tomorrow, 4 live streams. I mean, we have been jamming out some serious content here, everybody. And thank you for everybody that makes all this happen behind the scenes. On that note, I'm going to go on mute, do the visual countdown, tell everybody good night. And if you want to say some chiming words, chime in here when I'm doing the visual cue.
Good night, everyone. And if we don't see you till, Christmas or New Year, have a great holiday and prosperous New Year.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
Great
Thanks, everybody.
contributions tonight. Appreciate you. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
all.
guys. Thanks, everyone. And stay safe in the New Year's Eve. Don't drink and drive. Look after yourself and drink responsibly.
Good night,
And have
everyone.
fun.
Great call.
Thanks, Amy,
night.
and thanks, Julie, as well. And thanks,
Thank you,
Tyler. Thanks,
Blackfire,
Josh.
for the gift. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Teresa,
so much.
Rosetta.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Blackfire. Ms.
Thanks,
Young,
everyone.
Teresa.